American crime creator and showrunner John Ridley is leading the charge to ensure diversity is happening both in front of and behind the camera. Recently, the Academy Award-winning writer spoke about his show's unprecedented cast and crew. The show is about the racial, social, and religious ramifications of a gruesome shooting and killing in Modesto, California. 6 of his show's 9 directors are women, half of which are women of color. The show features 7 writers that break down to 4 females, half of which are women of color, 1 Asian, and 2 African Americans. The show will also feature a female cinematographer, a true rarity in the entertainment industry. Jose, do you think that other shows could stand to benefit from a diversity initiative both behind and in front of the camera, like one that you see with American Crime?
I do believe that it's very important that Hollywood, the inner workings of Hollywood, they start looking more like the audience of Hollywood.
Yes.
I think it's really, really important. This is a good example. Another good example is the fact that the last 2 Oscar winner directors are Mexicans. Both Gravity and Birdman had critical acclaim. Maybe we don't know the critical acclaim that this series has, but we do know the precedent of other franchises, like the case of Furious 7, that had benefit immensely of a diverse cast. So the audiences are responding to this. We've seen more in the lineups of the major networks. We see more shows based on diversity, based on different races, different experiences of life. So I think it's time for the wide establishment of Hollywood to start opening it up, because it's a small percentage, less than double digits. We're talking single-digit representation in percentage of all of the minorities within the Hollywood machinery.
Absolutely. And while we don't yet know that if American Crime will be nominated for Emmys, I think it stands as a frontrunner from several Emmy categories, we do know that this should be a reality. This should be something in which happens time and time again. And we should look to American Crime as a production on a hill, if you will, as that standard example of what diversity can be if given the opportunity in front of and behind the camera. I dare argue that it's more important to have diversity behind the camera than in front sometimes, because these jobs are so rare. A female cinematographer,
there's very few that get the opportunity to headline a project like that.
Absolutely. And I know John Ridley himself, very understated individual, very, humble individual. He doesn't look at himself as a savior, as someone that should be a beaming example, but his work is undeniable.
It is, and the important thing is that he is doing an incredible job of voicing different cultures. The fact that we have representation and we have voices of the different experiences in this country, and it's not all whitewash, because we've seen in the past, when we see the nominees for Best Actor, when we see the people that are slated to receive awards, predominantly white. With all the last nomination for the actors during the Oscars, we saw that the voters in the Academy, they're over 90% white and older. So they do not represent the reality of this country, and I think we need to bridge that gap, bring more voices, more creative voices behind the camera from every, minority in this country, and in front of the camera represent more stories that are not necessarily single experience white, inspired.
Absolutely. And that will help us in all regards. And in addition to behind the camera, in front of the camera, how about getting more people of color and women into the guilds? You know what I mean? Into the Directors Guild, into the Writers Guild. Also, how about getting more people of color and women into that Academy voting body to make sure that shows like this are being recognized as, something that is extremely groundbreaking. This show is extremely groundbreaking and not a bad watch either. I've been checking it out on Hulu Plus. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have anything to say about this groundbreaking initiative from director, showrunner John Ridley, please leave a comment below. Also, we want to thank you all for subscribing to our channel and listening to the Lip TV 2.